LadyLucidity ASMR. Hello there, my lovelies, and welcome to my little vlog about my trip to Dorset. This is the footage that I managed to salvage from my broken SD card, so it's not a lot, but that gives you an idea of the kind of things we did while we were away. So first, this is a picture of my very, very sleepy little boy. It was Jace's 4th birthday, the day we travelled. So we opened little presents in the morning. As you can see, he still looks very sleepy, trying on his new headphones. And he did end up using these quite a bit on the journey, and I'll explain why in a moment. But this was his birthday cake that his loving auntie made for him because he just loves Ben and Holly. So this was the bus from our house into town to go get the train, which you'll see here with the back of Chase's head. So this was the train from town into London, King's Cross, and Jace absolutely loved the train. He was just smiles all the time. He just loved looking out the window. So he's actually sat on my knee at the moment because he was sat next to me, but he was just too excited and wanted to see out the window. So, very tired mummy with a small child on her lap. So this is footage from the later end of that journey. So it's about just over an hour into London from where we are, so not too long. But soon the greenery will disappear and you tend to see more industrial buildings and cityscapes. This is a double-decker that we were on from King's Cross to London Waterloo to go get our next train. There were several underground strikes that day, unfortunately, so we had to take the bus, which is probably more exciting for Jace because he gets to see more. So, and then unfortunately, by the time we arrived at Southampton, we had brought the rain with us, so not a great start to the holiday, the first day being rained off. As you can see, second day was much better. We took a trip to Bournemouth Gardens and to the seaside because who doesn't go to the coast and doesn't go to the beach? So this is actually new. Last time I was here, this sort of birdcage area wasn't here at all. It was just concrete. So I'm just going to show you this really cool bird I saw. I don't know anything about like bird species or types. So if you guys know what kind of bird this is, please let me know. But that was very cool. Something nice to see in the gardens. So I've got a couple of pictures from our time in Bournemouth. This is walking through the gardens again. This is the more outer perimeter, I guess you could say, because the gardens are huge, as you can see. There's a big pavilion and when I lived here, I used to actually take my lunch breaks from work and go sit in the gardens. And there's also a mini, like a putt-putt golf course, which I've not actually tried, but maybe in the future I'll have a go. So this is on the way to the beach and the Oceanarium and the pier, so there is lots to do down this end. So we were very lucky. It was such a nice day. It was sunny, but it wasn't too hot, and there was a bit of a breeze. So although it was warm, it was quite nice walking through the gardens. And you can see Jace running off into the distance because he can see the big Ferris wheel. So you'll be able to see it in a second. There we go. So this is again part of the gardens, just walking around. I did have some audio footage to go with this because the water sounds were quite relaxing. But right in the middle of it, somebody came past with a very loud bike, so that kind of ruined it, unfortunately. But you'll just have to take my word for it. It was quite relaxing, and Jace liked watching the pigeons. So this path here actually goes all the way back up in a circle to the bird cages that we saw at the start, and there's a brand new restaurant at the top which we went in and had fresh homemade pizzas, which was really nice. It's so weird to be back here. Last time we were here, Jace was about 1. So a lot's changed in such a short amount of time, but this is still the same. This is the Oceanarium, which you've probably seen in previous vlogs of mine in Dorset. So we decided to take Jace back to the Oceanarium. He was here when he was 3 months old and when he was 1 year old. So you can see he's a lot more fascinated with it, and because he's 4 he gets a lot more out of it, I think. But he loved it. His favourite part was the penguins. He absolutely loved the penguins. He even tried to climb in the exhibit, which was a bit embarrassing, but it's one of my favourite places to go visit, and I don't think I actually went here enough when I lived here. It's just so peaceful and fun to watch. So hopefully you'll be able to see some footage of the best part, which is the overhead tunnel. So this was on the way to the tunnel. We saw this really big tortoise. It was huge and it came right up to the glass. So this is where the penguins were. And they were all very active and actually having a bit of a conversation. As you can see, so plenty to look at, and we even had a stowaway penguin hiding in the corner. But they're just, I don't know what it is about penguins, they're just so cute. I just love them. And one of my favourite fish, clownfishes. So these domes here you could actually get underneath, so you could climb under and see the fish close up. And I did try to get Jace to go under there, but he wasn't interested. He was far too busy looking at the things. So this was towards the end of our holiday. We went and fed the ducks in the village we were staying in. And you have to excuse my finger there, I was trying not to fall off the edge because it's a bit of a drop, which is why Jace is wearing a harness. So we went to go feed the ducks, we had some ice cream, we did a bit of shopping. This is actually closer to where I was living all those years ago, so I'm very used to seeing this particular area, but for Jace it's a bit of a novelty. So this is where a lot of people go to the beach, and they go crabbing, which, if you've never been crabbing, it's where you basically have a bucket and some bait and you go get crabs and you put them in a bucket to look at, and then you put them back in the ocean. But Jace loves water, so this was probably his favourite day, if I'm honest. The last day when we were at the beach playing in the water and the sand. It was like playing in the biggest sandpit in the world for him. And he wasn't used to waves, so he was fascinated by the water moving towards him and away from him. And we did get very wet. Very, very wet. And the sea was quite cold, so we could only go paddling for a short amount of time. But he loved it. He's just holding my hand for reassurance. And here's a picture of my sand turtle, very proud of. I made that before we left the beach, so it's probably long, long gone by now. But I did collect some seashells because it's a bit of a tradition of mine to go to the beach and collect seashells every time I come, so I do have a few in my collection now. I should probably get a jar or something for them, but and as you can see, the Great British weather never lasts long. This was actually on the bus only an hour after we got off the beach. It started raining, so this is again the centre of Bournemouth on our way home in our beachwear. We got a little bit wet, let's just say, but it doesn't matter when you're on holiday, it's all about the fun, so it wasn't too bad. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you soon.